What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Position yourself to receive from God with Bishop David G. Evans teaching When Men Pray.
Have there been times when you have asked someone to pray for you and the prayer has not been answered? Because instead of praying for yourself, you waited until someone else that you thought had more power would pray for you. Prayer is something that you resort to immediately and not as a last resort. You need to learn how to pray preemptively. You need how to pray ahead of time. Don't always be praying in response. Pray proactively. Pray before it happens. Lord, cover my child. Lord, bless my day.
Develop your relationship with God with this dynamic teaching on CD or DVD when you write to us. Visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
Allow God's living waters to wash over you and refresh your soul.
You've been praying for yourself when the answer is in praying for other people. While I'm praying for California, God shows up in my house.
As kingdom people, with the king in us and us being sovereign ground, we're not governed by the laws of this land, but we're governed by the laws of heaven.
He's talking about you going to draw water from the wells of salvation. Where's the well? In you.
If we want to release the water, watch this, we don't have to pray for it to come. Where we are now, we pray for it to be released.
Release deliverance and transformation in every area of your life through God's living waters. This revitalizing 3-message series can be yours on CD or DVD when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience, and being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you bound.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this. You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480. It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money. You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your command.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point. We're the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. We come to you live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Won't you please like and subscribe to our program? But also I want you to share with as many of your followers as possible. Give them an invitation to join this great conversation as we talk about those things that are very relevant to your life, both internationally, nationally, regionally, and locally, but always from a kingdom perspective, a biblical point of view about those things going on around us. As we often say to you, the Bible is very clear about the sons of Issachar who understood the times they lived in, and because of biblical wisdom, because they studied the wisdom books of the Bible, they knew exactly how to respond to the time and the culture that they lived in. So this is what On Point is all about, having these discussions, often uncomfortable, about those things that are relevant to you and I, but always from a biblical, spiritual perspective, that you might know how to apply the principles of the Word of God to the things that are happening in your life. So we're glad that you're joining us. Once again, why don't you invite somebody to join our conversation this morning? Or you can call us toll-free. We'd love to talk to you. The number is 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. We'd love for you to give us a call here on Point today. Our co-host is here today, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on, man?
I'm here. We all here.
Yeah, I know. Come on, y'all. Jump on. Respond either through our Facebook, which is at David G. Evans 1 also, I believe. You can respond there, or you can call because we'd love to talk to you live. Now, I know everybody's anticipating the finals of the NBA. Who have you chosen, Pastor Nick?
I think Denver's going. Denver has a more solid team.
I don't think in the short run or the long run that Miami can hang with them for 7 games. I just don't. Unless some catastrophic injuries happen.
Yeah.
Some people get thrown out for, those technical fouls. I mean, it's a combination of things I think have to happen.
Yeah.
A lot of coaching changes this week, and I see Denver got rid of their guy, or was it who was it that fired the coach? Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, but he landed quite well.
Yeah.
6 years, some
At,
$85 million.
Milwaukee, right?
Detroit. $85 million. So one of the commentators actually said when they fired him that they didn't appreciate him because I understand they got some new management, a new owner bought the team and decided he didn't want him after he had brought the team up.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing happened with the guy from Golden State. He's not
Mark
coaching.
Jackson.
Yeah, Mark is not coaching again yet.
Because I know somebody interviewed him, but didn't hire him, and people are thinking there's got to be some conspiracy, something behind the scenes.
It doesn't make any sense.
But if Emi Udaka, that's how you say his name,
Yeah.
got hired at Houston,
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah, something.
It doesn't make any sense. And the rumors I heard, so that doesn't mean they're necessarily true, but from inside the sports world, agent that I know, was that it's what his faith that got him knocked off because he wouldn't participate in certain things. But can a guy come to work and go home?
Right. If you want to win, who cares? I mean,
And I love the coach that Golden State has now, but he did not build the core of that team.
Right.
Mark Jackson built the core of that team. He's the one that insisted on Curry being drafted when nobody else wanted him.
Yep.
So, and now, they're trying to forgetting that. Well, the team that they have is the team that he built.
Yeah. Literally. Yes. I mean, that's why people are wondering something's going on behind the scenes.
It's
not.
colluding.
Yeah.
Just like the owners in the NFL can get done whatever they want. If they want you to play pro ball, they can make a way for you to. If they don't want you to, they know how to bounce you from team to team during the preseason and get you out by the time the season starts. Which is probably why there's no overtly homosexual guys playing in the NFL, because they make sure that they shuffle them around and move them.
Yeah. Only one who came out, but he's more the more masculine type. If I say it like that.
Okay.
But he came out after his game was so good.
Okay.
He plays on the Raiders. They couldn't deny.
They couldn't deny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he's not out here.
But he had to prove himself.
Yeah, but he's still pretty private in his personal life.
Yeah. The other guy, which could really play.
Yeah.
But there's a little boyfriend who couldn't bring him the millions of dollars, get him thrown out of the league. That's silly.
Yeah.
Get the money.
Yeah.
And then if you want to come out, fine.
Yeah.
But don't blow your contract.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know.
Come to work and then go home.
Yeah. I know.
Now, we don't usually talk about these kind of things. All this controversy over the Little Mermaid. There's actually protests because they have a mermaid in a cartoon of color this time. And I mean, all kinds of threats. First off, Pastor Nick, they're going to make it one of the greatest box office animations of all time.
Yeah.
The protests alone. But the second thing is this. If a mermaid is largely believed to be a myth, and there are times when people have said they've seen this and seen that. So, knowing how things work in creation, I'm not going to sit here and flat out say that if there ever was a mermaid, that they just didn't exist. I'm not going to flat out say that. I'll accept the fact there could be other species roaming around. But do we get to say what color it is?
No.
I mean, if it's fish-like, are we so naive and maniacally egotistical that the animated thing has to look like us?
Yeah.
Why? I didn't hear any protests when they said when the mermaid was white.
Oh, of course not.
But now, you know, they bring up one of color, and all of a sudden, people are in an uproar about a cartoon.
Yes. It's not even real. Like, not even,
Based on something that most people think doesn't even exist.
what they're doing now, again, it's that straw man argument.
Ugh.
It's let's focus on anything that looks to be perceived. Instead of saying white American, you know, they use that language to veil white, basically what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Or women too. Like the Lord of the Rings series that came on Amazon.
Yes.
They were in uproar because the lead character was a white woman. Because they're used to men being the lead.
Oh, that was a problem?
Yeah, it was a problem for some because they're used to the male being the lead character. So they call it woke if you put a woman or somebody of color.
But that's enough to start a national movement?
Yeah, because there's crazy. I'm sorry. It's like one person said, you know, I saw Ariel and I saw myself because she was a redhead and I was a redhead, but now they changed her. And then one black woman was like, well, we never saw us in these cartoons. So it's okay for you to have representation.
Yeah, but that's not important.
But it's not, you know.
It's not important. We've got this weird thing going on. It happens in movies. It happens in storytelling. It happens in conversation. You know, the only valid portrayal is the one that I'm portraying.
Yeah.
The only valid thing being said is the thing that I'm saying. It's ridiculous. It's like the elections.
Yeah.
It's only legal and lawful if I win.
Yes.
If I lose, it has to be illegal.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. And going to what you say for the past, during the Trump years, conservatives, y'all liberals acting like snowflakes. Cancel culture is evil. We shouldn't cancel nothing. And now all of a sudden,
They canceling everything.
But the who, like you say, determines.
Who determines what? I'm telling you every time.
And that's going to be the next election focus is on woke, all that stuff. American values, y'all, I almost said a certain word, y'all changing our country.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to focus on to get that conservative
I
vote.
saw a guy on the news this morning, a young Asian guy, and he was saying that the problem that the Republicans are making, he said specifically Republicans, is that they've given us the impression they don't care about what we care about. And he was talking about, you know, jobs and education and equal rights for people, and that they don't care about that stuff. And they said they're not going to get us back.
Yeah.
You know, and what's really crazy is I'm watching the platform, Republican platform. They almost seem like they're focused on losing. It's almost like they're under the impression that they have a majority, that they don't have to bring anybody into their tent. It's ridiculous. I don't know who's driving the bus over there.
Yeah.
They pull up and a bunch of clowns come off the bus.
I know. And they think because they have a few minorities that agree with them.
No.
Then.
And those few are not representative.
Yeah.
You know, and what bothers me, I don't know what the problem is. I've talked to a few people in the last 6 months who are African American and who are MAGA all the way. But when you start asking them questions, like real questions,
Yes.
you know, how did Biden get in the White House if he's not the president? Do you accept that he's president? No, he's not the president. Well, who is?
Right.
Who is?
Right. They say he's running it behind the scenes.
And I saw DeSantis yesterday. Yeah. They asked him a perfectly simple question, and he had a deep state answer.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. They're all into those conspiracy theories. And can I just say something? I'm sure you will totally agree with this.
Go ahead.
People of God, especially pastors, you don't get your political news from your prayer room.
No.
Read some books, Watch some objective news, read the Wall Street Journal, not opinion pieces.
Or listen objective.
Or listen to this. Yeah, listen.
Yes, listen objective.
And I say don't pray. I'm not saying that God doesn't speak to us in prayer about, and certain people have that kind of, God speaks to them about country things. But all these conspiracy theories, God told me, the Lord told me, like when Biden fell, he tripped over something, like he's
Tripped
the first
over a
president
sandbag.
that ever tripped.
Come on.
Well, the Lord
Trump's
was showing
scared of stairs. He's got a phobia about stairs.
because he almost fell off some stairs too.
He's got a phobia about it.
I know. One pastor said that, see, pride goes before a fall. God was trying to show the country that President Biden was the wrong person.
So let me ask you a question. When that pastor trips in his own house, what is God trying to show him?
Right, thank you. It's
I don't like it when we're ridiculous.
I know.
It looks bad for us as Christians, as pastors, when we're ridiculous. We have too much Bible to be ridiculous.
Yes. Yep.
If we don't know what to say, we need to read it. And we don't need to try to fit what we believe into what God says.
Right.
That's not application. When you try to mold this, okay, this is close enough to this crazy thing that I'm thinking, so this is what God must be supporting. That's not how that book works.
Not at all.
We got to figure out what he said first.
Yes.
So we figure out what it means to us, not what our situation means to him.
Yes, exactly. And that's what they're doing. It's, speaking of Bible, I forgot to put it on here. A town in Iowa got the Bible banned from school because the use of sex and violence in the book. So now these conservatives are trying to get rid of these books about African Americans and history and stuff. These liberal places are like, oh, y'all want to play ball?
Okay.
Let's get these Bibles removed from these schools. Well, I don't know why they don't think that people are going to respond.
Because they're so used to us not responding.
Yeah.
They're so used to believers simply praying and doing nothing.
Yep.
But the Bible does not show you a prescription for praying and doing nothing.
Yep.
The prescription there is praying and then acting on what you believe.
Yep.
It says you're supposed to act like you're receiving it.
Yes.
When you start praying for it, your conduct must all be altered to coincide with what you've just prayed.
Yes.
So activity is a part of this thing.
Yep.
Faith without works. But we forget all of that.
All of it.
This whole nationalist thing, when I have had the chance to speak to one or two of my brothers that have that nationalist Christian thing, it is what I think I've found is, like a lot of Christian people, and this is something all of us have to be careful about. We find ways to express our anxiety through the application of Scripture.
Yes.
But what happens, it slips very subtly from what God said to what I feel.
Yep.
And that I see that happening over and over again.
Yeah. I see people as, I call it their theology of pain.
Mhm.
They read their pain into the Scripture.
Absolutely.
Rather than, letting the Scriptures work on healing them. It's all about, I wanted to say it this bad because somebody hurt me or somebody bothered me. And
It's like reading and hearing through your issues, and allowing your issue to transform what you're reading and what you're hearing.
Yes.
That's what that's about. Because now in our context, we've got a lot of people that are driven by their grief, by the stress, by oppression, and what happens, you start selectively reading the Bible to match what you feel,
right,
and forget the context of why God did this thing in the first place.
So true. Was talking to a teach class on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I said, y'all understand something. Every message is not supposed to make you shout, run, dance.
That's right.
I said, what Bishop's been teaching on hatred and the stuff on Wednesday night with identity, it's going to be quiet for a reason.
Absolutely.
The word challenges you.
Absolutely.
At times.
But we run away from that.
And we run,
because there's no way we can teach on identity and not challenge the identity that you've built for yourself.
Yes.
Like I knew for us something very challenging the other night when I said basically that what we have allowed as a people is things to be us.
Yes.
I look better than you, I dress better than you, I wear more jewelry than you, I wear more hair than you, so that makes me better than you.
Yep.
That is me being superior to my former self based upon what I'm wearing and what I'm looking at. I knew it was going to be intrusive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people You know, the Bible says, seek first the kingdom,
Yeah.
and all these things shall be added. So what that gives me is there's an identity in God that must be established first. And the stuff adds to you,
Yes.
not to who you are, just adds to you.
Yes.
But we tend to compare ourselves to people. You know, this suit looks better on me than it looks on you. This dress looks better on me than it does. Why are you concerned about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Now that you bring it up, Lord have mercy. It's so crazy how being authentically you now is considered,
Come on, man.
strong and radical.
It's stupid.
It means y'all been faking so long that
Yep.
seeing somebody just be themselves is celebrated. Isn't that the way you're supposed? But the people are trying to buy into an image.
But here's the problem I have, and I've said it a dozen times. Authenticity now is not being relevant to God. Authenticity now is being relevant to the culture.
Yes.
So I want to wear my hair like everybody else. I want to wear this suit like everybody else. I want to wear these sneakers like everybody else. There's very little individuality. Because not only do we allow our clothing and our automobiles and our houses to change the way we think about ourselves and conduct ourselves, but it doesn't change who we are.
Exactly. And now you're seeing crowds. I heard somebody say this. It made so much sense about this. I'll talk to you offline about some of this other stuff maybe later. It brought some perspective. This generation, they're more interested in buying into an image of a person.
Yes.
So it's not about this person can preach, changing my life, this church is changing my life. It's the
image.
The natural image of the person.
So they're copying.
Yes.
They're not being authentic.
Yeah. It's that prosperity gospel of back in the 90s and 80s. It was about the pastor's suit, his house, his cars. Now it's about social media influence, followers. This person's wearing a Versace
Same
jacket.
exterior stuff.
Yeah.
But watch what happens. Social media to me, it used to be the clothes.
Yeah.
It is still the clothing.
But it's the image of.
Yep. But it's the image of the individual.
Yeah.
But back in the day, preachers thought if they dressed like a certain preacher, they would have the ministry of that preacher.
Yep.
If they had his car, they would have the ministry. They would have his house. Now, it's I'll have the followers if I imitate this image.
Right. Yep. Get this look.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of older pastors will wear nice stuff, but wouldn't blast the label of what they were wearing. Now it's like,
I got to tell you,
it's known I'm wearing this
I got to tell you,
$1,000 sweater.
I'm waiting for the labels to go to the outside of the clothing.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a guy to have a suit on that says Versace right here.
No, so I've seen some have some stuff,
Now I've got stuff, but you never know it. All the labels are on the inside.
Yeah.
And I'm not walking around talking about, something over here.
But people are buying into, man, look at that preacher got that nice those Travis Scott Jordans on that cost $2,300.
Ridiculous. Why would? Number one, the problem is with sneakers. Most people that buy those sneakers, you can't wear them too often.
You crease them.
You can't wear them too often. You don't want to get them scuffed. They're taking. I was in the mall with the kids a couple weeks ago, and there actually was a kiosk, and this guy was cleaning people's sneakers as they were walking through the mall. Let me, renew them for you. Just let me try it on you for a minute. I'm like,
yeah.
Are you going to spend 20? Is a guy with responsibility? Can you justify spending $2,500 for a pair of sneakers that you may wear 3 times a year?
Yeah. But it's about saying I can be a little bit of a sneakerhead, but I have a limit on how much I spend.
I'm pumped up because somebody recognizes I have something on that I've paid too much for. Not that I just, it's almost, I don't know about other people, but when I buy things, I buy them for me.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And the whole thing is not who's going to see me, if you're going to like it. I get it for me.
Yeah.
And I hope that the people around me see it favorably. But I don't buy it so I can get some take a selfie of myself and put on, oh man, that's a great suit you got on. Hey, that has never done anything for me.
Nope. And people are like, you should get these out. I don't like them, but everybody's wearing them. I don't like them.
No, if you don't
you buy your stuff that you like and just keep it moving.
I'm not wearing something I don't care for.
Yeah. And quite honestly, you end up wearing it and forget that you don't even think of the significance of it. You just walk around because you like it. People are like, oh, you got those on. You're like, yeah.
Well,
right? It's
I didn't buy it for recognition. I bought it because I
like it. It's just,
It's not. I think it's wonderful to like nice things.
Yeah.
Back to the Bible. I don't think the thing should become your kingdom.
Yes.
That's my whole point. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't become your reason for living. Because what it proves when the things become us.
Yeah.
When we stop wearing the things and the things become us, we've lost ourselves to the thing.
Yep.
We better get on the phone here. We got Tom from Fort Lauderdale. We've got Danny from Lauderhill. You can give us a call also. We've got a few lines open, 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267, for Evans. Give us a call. We're going to Tom. Hey, Tom, how you doing this morning?
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Pastor Nick?
Thanks for holding on during our rant.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But I understand. I mean, you got Kanye wearing those weird boots and all the things, and people just had to have
Mario boots.
What's he wearing?
People were wearing these big red. I'll take a picture. I'll look at them and show you. They're those ridiculous boots, and people are buying these things.
How much do they cost?
They're a couple $1,000s.
What bothers me is people buying them who, when you see them, they obviously have trouble paying their rent.
Yeah.
Or they don't pay their rent so they can have the shoes.
Yeah. They look like this. They look like Super Mario boots.
Why would you want to wear those?
Yeah. Somebody famous
because Kanye's got them on.
It's a fad.
Yeah.
And people are going to go out and try to match that because now they feel more like Kanye at that point.
Kanye and a few other people, like Lil Wayne had them on.
Okay, so they feel more, they're more, they got a recording contract coming because they got these red boots on.
Yeah, they started off at $350, and I think the price is going up as people are ridiculously buying it.
Yeah, the Uggs are Uggs. They ought to call them Uggs also.
Hey, Bishop, back in the 60s, there was a song written for
Wait a minute. Tom, let me ask you a question. Something just popped in my head about what I just said. So the significance of it is not whether you like them or not. The significance of it is somebody famous has them also. So that makes me more famous. And that desire for that is so strong that they'll spend money for it that they don't have. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, think about that. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I was watching a documentary about a church.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. I knew our individuals need to belong. We're all created to be in community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Staying by yourself all your life and never talking.
It's not healthy.
But I didn't factor in how much people desire to be a part of something.
Okay.
To the point where they ignore things.
What's going on? Okay.
Because it's not about this church is changing my life. Mm-hmm. It's about I go here.
Identity again.
And I'm attached to that.
It's identity again.
Nothing to do with.
Here, watch this. People will run. How did Walter Thomas say it? People will leave an oasis to voluntarily dwell in a wilderness. Yep. And he was talking about word and structure and support and shepherding. He said they'll leave an oasis and go dwell in the desert just because a bunch of folk are dwelling in the desert.
Yeah. And I'm like, but the way that people were talking was like, I felt like it's like that need for status and identity and belonging was so strong.
But here's the problem: they're in a boat of people that are thinking the same thing, but the boat is not sailing anywhere.
Yeah.
They're not taking you anywhere.
Yeah.
And when I talked to, I'm not going to say who it was. I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, good friend of mine, and he was telling me that he had, that one of the churches that they started when, in another state, and I asked him straight out, well, how do you teach them? And he said to me, and I quote, it's like a baby. You have to hide the medicine in the applesauce. I said, so they don't know they're being fed. He said, so you cloak it in some current event. I said, but doesn't the current event, don't they walk away with your commentary on the event more so than what the gospel or the medicine that you put in it? And he admitted, yes.
Mm-hmm. We've said
so there's no growth there. They know it, but we've got people that aren't looking for growth.
Yeah, we've said it
a
lot. This lot, and not the down numbers. We like numbers.
Right,
we like
right,
crowds.
absolutely.
I'm not downing that.
Sure, we like,
But I think the difference is somebody trying to build a crowd, or you trying to build disciples.
Well, that's always been our thing. We want to build people.
Yeah, that's it. But you're seeing people. The crowd is more important than
well,
the health and the discipleship.
But you've got people then. What you're saying is that you've got people that are saved that are not interested in maturing.
Mm-hmm.
That the maturity is being like others.
Yeah.
Okay. Relevance to the crowd or the culture and not relevance to God. I know I say that a lot.
Yeah.
But we spend a lot of time trying to be relevant to people rather than being relevant to God first.
Yeah.
And then watch the kingdom dynamic. We wonder why the things don't follow us.
Yep.
We have to perpetuate like God is blessing us when he's not.
Yep.
He's providing, not blessing.
Yeah.
And there's two different things.
Way too different.
Yeah.
I was reading something in John 2. John says that Jesus, even though he had a crowd, did not commit himself to the crowd because he knew their hearts.
Yep.
He knew that once he got down to brass tacks,
when he got down to the difficult part of the message,
the commitment, the crowd walked away. As long as he was doing miracles,
it was fine.
And so Jesus is showing us the crowd, cool, fine. But he understood the hearts of people. They will leave you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like I remember years ago, Bishop did a Bible study on love.
Yeah.
Crystal said not one CD was sold that night because
they're not interested.
This was a long time ago, but
a little too deep.
It wasn't even deep. It was a simple message, but it was one of those challenging.
And what's really sad about that is that when I have to do a message like when I'm sure God tells me to do one like that, I know there's not going to be a response.
Yeah.
So my job that particular day is just sowing it.
Yeah.
And when we were in our TV days, when we were on BET and TBN, and I would do one of those messages, it was not because I was looking for tape sales.
Yep.
Because they weren't going to come.
Yep.
But if I did something on,
you're going to make it.
All your haters are going to die by tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. It's one of the most powerful songs.
Yeah.
Tom,
I'm sorry, Tom.
We're taking up all your time, Tom. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, I'm going to scare you before I get off.
Okay.
First is, our governor down here announced he was running.
Yeah.
First thing he said he's going to do in his news conference was get rid of the FBI director. Not only that, he's going to pardon people from January 6th. January 6th. He's going to pardon them and the president. But the killer is, he said that he wanted to leverage the Second Amendment, the articles of the Second Amendment of the Constitution, to where he would gain more power as president and that he could control more of what he wants. And the comment he makes, people don't, if you read between the lines, he said, when I was elected governor of Florida with over 50% of the vote, meant I have 100% of the power.
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, he said this stuff verbally, audibly.
Wednesday night.
Okay. Aren't some of these things what they don't like about the quote-unquote deep state?
Yeah.
So are they, of course they're lying, but are they lying when they say they don't like it, or they don't like who they perceive has this much authority? So what they're really talking about, we need to have this authority. We want to take it away from whoever we perceive has it. But what bothers me is how they're perpetuating this total lie, totally, because there's a group of voters that have so little going on in life, so little emotionally going on, that they're prepossessed with this idea of conspiracy. I get it, there are some conspiracies going on. We all have to acknowledge that.
As long as the deep state is my deep state, not yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as I can do the discriminating, we're fine. As long as I can do the sexist thing, we're fine. As long as I can do the firing you, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But don't let any of that come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I get off on this thing, Bishop, it was a song written back in the late 60s, early 70s about Republicans. I think it started off something like, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right of me. I think that kind of sums it up.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Take care.
Talk to you.
All right.
866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. So, do you think DeSantis has a chance?
It depends on how him and Trump get along in the primary.
Get along,
work together, because it can split. Because DeSantis is trying to get Trump's people.
It's going to split.
In that way, it's going to split.
I think it's going to split.
And to me, I honestly don't think if say DeSantis gets the nomination for Republican, I can't see Trump sitting out. He might run third party. I can't see Trump saying I lost.
Well, if he does that, he's going to assure the fact that the Republicans lose.
Yes, and I'll be happy with that. If they were smart and could work together,
they're not going to do that.
One would be president, one would be vice president.
Too much ego.
That ticket would actually win. They would win all those.
I think
states.
they get closer.
What I mean by like Texas, like those.
Yeah, they get closer.
Those places that have a lot of. Again, they don't need the popular vote. They just need the right states.
But there would be a bunch of people that would not want two maniacs at the same time in the White House. Yeah, that's just.
Yeah. No, I believe that.
The prospect of that is just overwhelming to me.
I know. But they would get, because he would get the conservative.
They get some votes
and the loons.
But I don't think historically those size of egos. No, which one's going to be vice?
They wouldn't be able to get along.
Who's going to be the vice president?
They wouldn't be able to get. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't be able to do it.
It was just like when former President Obama and Mrs. Clinton could have run president and vice president. The Democrats would have had the White House for 16 years, but those egos could not get in the same room. She was not going to be his vice president.
Yep.
I heard a comedian the other day say something like, "When did vice president get to be a job?"
That's been a nonstop joke.
And when did being a first lady get to be a job? Just. And at first I was like, whoa. And then I thought about it. The president is supposed to be making policy. But it looks like now we've had people that don't want to just empower the vice president. They want to empower the first lady. And I'm not sure where that leads us.
Yeah, because the vice presidency, I think before Bush, second Bush, I think, didn't have much power. They were just kind of like
they're there.
They're just Then you saw you give more power, which I think is good to give your numbers. Something to do, not just be there just in case. Right. They're not you, but
just hanging around White House just in case something happens. No, that's
right.
Not,
give them something.
That's not the job.
Right. And I think with Biden now, his wife, she's education, she's got a doctorate. She probably would be good with, in that arena. I think like
she can influence that.
Yeah, it's like how it's a House of Cards.
Yes,
keep her where she is, where she's good at, and just let it be there.
But I don't think the first lady shouldn't be running the White House.
Oh no.
Or influencing the president in such a way that But I don't see that with Biden and Mrs. Biden.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I saw that with, maybe a little bit with Obama and Mrs. Obama. I don't know. That's a conversation.
There was only one time that happened. Woodrow Wilson got sick, and his wife was actually running things behind the scenes while he was sick at the end of his presidency. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that historic memory. Let's go to Danny. Hey, Danny, how you doing, man? Thanks for holding on.
Hey, Dan.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick.
Yeah, we're ranting a little bit this morning. Yes.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm getting a lot of message and thoughts with the conversation what's going on. But I like to ask a question. Have y'all heard about the shooting down here and on Memorial Day?
What shooting?
Oh, on the beach. Was that?
Yeah, see, I take that. It does not go but so far when things like that happen down, here, because we're supposed to be the law and order state.
Yeah. So tell us in a sentence or two what happened.
Okay, what happened? We had a shooting, a mass shooting. 9 people were shot. The youngest one on the beach that was shot was a 1-year-old.
What?
Yeah, Hollywood Beach.
Yes, sir.
And what was it all about? Does anybody know yet?
I'll tell you, it's so bad here with guns now. I dare not step on your sneakers.
Huh?
I can't talk. No one can talk anymore and say, "Excuse me, that's not good enough. I got to shoot you." This is what is happening.
So something I've been talking about in service. Hate does not start in a moment, and hate looks for a way to express itself.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put a bunch of guns in the hands of people whose hearts have been building hatred for a while, you get these kinds of incidences. You're not implying that it was something so trivial that 9 people got shot, are you, Danny?
Nine.
And it was something as trivial as stepping on your sneakers?
When they started shooting, there's so many, the beach is packed. It's Memorial Day. You have little kids. Nobody's thinking as to you could possibly kill someone.
And
they haven't given that a thought.
Were these men shooting, women shooting? Was it what?
Well, listen to this, Bishop. When the dust cleared,
yeah,
guns were left.
On the beach?
Guns did the police retrieve? 5. 5 guns.
On the beach?
Yes. One was stolen from Texas. One was stolen from Miami-Dade. The other 3, they can't account where they came from.
Wait a minute, Danny. Well, I guess it would be hard to conceal a gun in your bathing suit.
Yes.
Yeah. So leaving the beach, you would have to leave it.
You fleeing, you drop your towel.
Criminal mind.
Yeah.
Criminal mind.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
So Danny, are you telling me that this incident started over something trivial?
Yes.
How trivial?
You can't get on I-95 and you by mistake cut somebody off.
You got to be careful that you're going to get shot at.
Yes, they've had murders because of that.
Yeah.
But see,
because folk got cut. Well, that's not standing your ground when you're on the highway.
No.
Okay.
But that does not make the news nationally. We hear about it here, but nationally. So when DeSantis goes around and he talks about law and order and what have you, can't control what's going on here.
He's from a lawless state. So
yes.
So the issue, Danny, is that now nationally, it's not newsworthy unless there's 4 or more people. So anything less than 4 is not going to make national news now.
Mm-hmm.
It might make local, but it will not make national, because mass is 4 or more.
9.
Wow.
And God was with those that were shot because of the fact that they did not lose their life.
Well, let me ask you a question. And I know I ask you guys from Florida this all the time. How are communities reacting to your governor saying what he's saying and what he's doing? And how are they reacting to this beach incident on Memorial Day?
Okay, the thing that no one notices because of the fact that no one understands how the state operates. If you notice, the governor has not been beyond Palm Beach. We had a flood here in Broward County.
Mm-hmm.
He did not come to see about the citizens, not at all.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is he the governor? Does he consider himself the Broward County population's governor? Or is he a governor?
If you voted for me.
Okay. But didn't some of the people that voted for him, weren't they impacted by the flood?
Those, what do we call those when we go into battle? Those just casualties.
Collateral damage?
collateral damage.
Oh my.
And the thing about it, the people they're having problems with the insurance companies and what have you, and they talk about different things. But one thing I did notice, that FEMA did show up. They even went to the residents, door to door, to see what they could do to help them out.
But what you're implying, Danny, very subtly I might add, is that even if he doesn't go to Broward County, and there are people that voted for him there before, that when voting time comes, they'll vote for him again?
Yes, they will. It goes back to the saying that what you said, it doesn't matter if I'm broke or not. The fact is that the people that were in charge before, they're not.
Wow. Well, Pastor Nick always has been saying for years that people vote against their own best interests.
Yes, that is a true fact.
But then they complain when the person doesn't do what they promised to do.
Yeah.
Only if they are a certain group or certain party.
As long as they do abortion, they get their vote. Single issue voter, as they go. Yeah.
Single issue voters.
Yeah. You can
wipe out my job.
Yep, these other things. But as long as you do these one or two things, I'll vote for you.
So you're telling me that the cognition of the American citizen is so broken that they can't connect one thing to the other?
Because those things are that important to me.
There was a gentleman in
So
Iowa.
you wipe out my job. I can't pay my mortgage. I lose my house, and I'm still supporting you?
Because you're against abortion, against gay marriage, against whatever. As long as you do those things.
There was a gentleman in Iowa. He asked a question. If you notice,
It's insane, I know.
the DeSantis will not take questions. He's not a person that will give you an answer. He will go ahead, more or less like we used to say, filibuster on something. He asked him a question about unity, bringing people together. He said, you're good at dividing people, but what will you do to bring in those people that are citizens that we have in their need? What are you going to do to help them?
What was his response, Danny?
Crickets.
He didn't answer?
No.
He literally said nothing. Don't play with me, Danny. He said nothing?
Crickets.
Oh my goodness. That sounded like that mistake Romney made.
Oh yeah, with the 10%. Yeah.
I'm only going to be president to this amount of people in the country.
Yep.
I'm not going to be y'all's president. While the y'all was serving him lunch.
Yep.
That's why I got out.
Yep.
He knew the y'all had paid for the tickets. But the y'all that was serving were invisible. So he felt safe to say whatever he wanted to say. I'm only going to be your president. I'm not going to be other people's president. I don't care what he does. I'll never forget that.
Yep.
One more thing, and then I'll get off the line. You remind me of now and then when you're talking about different subjects and what have you. You told us one time that out of your abundance, that's a blessing and what have you. And I had to talk to my grandkids. I was telling them because they went through this thing where they're saying, "Well, I don't want leftovers."
They don't want
And
leftovers.
I had to go ahead and show them that it's a blessing in the leftovers.
Okay. They
That's
don't want
the
leftovers.
abundance.
You know what your problem
Right.
with you know the problem with your grandchildren, Danny? They ain't never been hungry.
Yeah. Shoot. Eat that food, yo.
They ain't never been hungry.
Right. Look.
Only children that are choosy are those that have not been hungry.
Right.
You're taking away my thunder, Bishop.
Right.
You're on point again.
Man, you crazy.
I said, well, don't. You don't have to. Well, what are we gonna get instead?
Nothing.
You better eat this food.
Nothing. But parents will, we'll take you to McDonald's. You better stop capitulating.
Right. Eat that food. Danny, can I ask you a question? I know this is the pot calling the kettle black a little bit because our property taxes in New Jersey are crazy high.
Yeah.
But I just read that Florida's property insurance is triple that of everybody in the state.
They don't talk about it.
And they're about to raise it another 40%.
They don't talk about
this
it.
year.
It's ridiculous from what I hear.
You can't get it.
You can't get it.
Regular property insurance?
Companies are turning people down.
And it's through the roof, sky high?
Yes. They're saying, well, do you have hurricane windows? Do you have a new roof? If you don't meet those qualifications, we're not going to insure you.
So you don't have to pay much property tax, but if you get ready to insure your house, you're going to pay exorbitant rates.
I think one I saw, and I can't speak with. I think their property insurance was over $4,000 for just for the property insurance. That don't include taxes, mortgage, just the insurance. And again, they said it's going to go up about 40% this year.
If you can get it.
And you got a whole lot of folk running down there.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, my property tax is going to be great," and then they go to try to apply for insurance, and it's like $4,000 and $5,000.
That's crazy.
Bishop, let me just say this: save a seat for me.
Thank you for calling us, man.
Okay.
Tell my sister I said hello.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you now. Bye-bye. We got a few minutes left. We got about 5 minutes. We can take Robin for 2 minutes. You think she can do it in 2 minutes?
No.
Robin, I've got more faith in you than Pastor Nick does.
Good morning, Bishop. Pastor Nick, how y'all doing?
I know you can do this in 2 minutes. I know you can.
Oh, yeah, because I came on late, so I can call back in next week. But I did want to I know I wasn't sure if y'all had spoke on this. The young lady who did the poem at Biden's organization, Amanda Gordon book. You know her book was banned, her poem book.
Yeah, I heard.
One Mother in Miami
in
Dade
Florida,
Elementary
right?
School. Yep. Went to the school.
The very thing that's happening. We criticize the Germans, particularly the people under Adolf Hitler's regime, for burning books. We've criticized every dictator in history for destroying knowledge, limiting knowledge, limiting the press, because that's what's next.
But one person, just like one person got prayer out of school, I thought about that. Now she got the book because she says she thinks it's racist.
Well, it's they don't know the difference between racial and racist. Racial is you're proud of your ethnicity. Racist is you don't approve of the way God made somebody.
No. Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, let me call them. But
crazy.
That's what I wanted just to ask for. I'll call in next week because I do have important questions.
I'm sure you do, Rob. I'm sure you do.
For the message you've been doing, Bishop, especially the ones explaining the different gifts.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you really broke that down. I'm so glad you did that message.
God bless you.
All right, y'all have a blessed day.
Bye-bye.
Soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, we've come to the end of another program. We want to thank you for. Now you're picking Denver. So am I.
They had rest. He had the 7-game series.
Yeah.
I wonder how their legs are going to be able to hold up.
Well, the star of Miami, you could see he was visibly gassed.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure you can recoup that reserve in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I think it takes a little bit more time.
You had a rested Denver team.
Yeah. But I think if both teams had gone 7, I just think that Denver is too balanced, too strong. And I know people don't want to hear this, but that Jokic is no joke.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have to be fast, because he takes his time and makes it through everybody. They can't stop him. You don't have to be able to jump through the building, out of the building. He didn't even try to score the first half. He just assisted his teammates.
Yes.
I mean, what kind of dominance is this guy displaying?
Yeah, he should have been. I mean, I like Joel Embiid, but he was the real MVP. I'm just.
He's proven it.
He's
because Joel's home.
Yeah, and Jamal Murray's playing good, so
that Murray guy is killing it, man. And then they've got guys coming off the bench that, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we want you to join us tomorrow. Please join us tomorrow. Our virtual service is at 8 a.m. Our live service here in the sanctuary. We're in our Momentum series. You don't want to miss this. It's around the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. And we're looking to do some incredible things. God has given us a great message for you tomorrow. You want to join us at 11 a.m. live. And is communion tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I looked and asked the question.
Yeah.
And join us live for communion tomorrow at 6. We'd be so honored to have you be with us tomorrow. Wow. What an amazing thing. What a revelation for me.
Right.
Okay. Our COVID protocols have changed. We're no longer requiring a vaccination to attend service. We are still taking temperatures, and we are providing you, if you can come with a mask, fine, the N95. If you don't have one, we'll give you one when you get here to the church. I've gotten 3 notices this week that the COVID rates are accelerating very rapidly. So you don't want to let your guard down, even though everybody's trying to tell you it's over. It's not over. They're increasing again. And this is the pattern that has been for the last 3.5 years. So you want to be wise. We have Bible studies, midweek services at 12 noon on Wednesday, 7 p.m. We've got a great crowd coming up at 12. We've got another great crowd developing at 7. You can get here if you just. Most people are able to get here by like 7:25 or so. There's some here for worship from 7 to 7:20, but the crowd starts to build around 7:20, 7:25 on Wednesday nights. If you'd like some updates from us, you can get Bethany News updates at text. You've got to text to BBC News to 28950. If you want to get devotional messages from us, text BBC Elevate. That's Elevate, just like it sounds, 28950. We'd love to pray with you. May you send your prayer request to social@gotobethany.com. That's social@gotobethany.com. And always subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube, and our podcast platforms, which is DGEMS, DGEMS, which is David G. Evans Ministries, just the letters, DGEMS, and On Point. Those are our podcast platforms. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, Bishop David G. Evans, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and establishing some brand new momentum. Now remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on Point.